Good day! Are we digitally ready? This is the question that teachers and learners are probably asking right now. With the advent of DepEd's Digital Rights program, the Open Educational Resources, or OER, was woven together and finally realized. This project prioritizes the necessity to enhance the digital literacy skills of every teacher and learner in the country. Our OER mission is to connect the disconnected. OER is indeed an innovative initiative with a lofty aim to get disconnected schools and last-mile schools connected through ICT even without an internet connection.
It is designed to cater to the need of these schools for interactivity, digitalization, and delivery of 21st century skills that will ensure that every learner is future ready. Join us in another training workshop and learn more about open educational resources, whose primary purpose is to provide support and assistance to learners and teachers in this rapid advancement of technology. Our goal is to build and strengthen the capabilities of public and private teachers, school heads, and supervisors by teaching you to create and design interactive, localized, and contextualized instructional materials for teaching using basic, advanced, and proficiency software and tools. Surely, this will be another exciting and engaging webinar training workshop. Together, let's all rise amidst this crisis. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, para sa guro. Sulong edukalidad!
Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng DepEd Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Hello, isang mapagpalayang hapon sa inyong lahat. Parang nagulat kayo, no? So, ako nga pala si Tutor Rogar. Sa ngayon ay substitute teacher po sa Science Grade 5. Ayan, mismo ako nagulat. Pasensya na po. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Naway masaya tayong lahat. Okay, so simulan na natin ang ating Science 5 review. The Constellations. So magre-review po tayo ngayon at ito'y patungkol sa constellations. Kamusta po kayo? I hope you're doing fine, doing great, masaya, maliksi. Ayan. So once again, I am your tutor, Tutor Rogar. Ang bibong-bibang Tutor Rogar. Ako'y nanggaling sa division ng Davao City. Hello, hello, hello. Yan, hello Gracia Batcho, Bucho, Alexia K. Patricia. Good afternoon po, Tutor Rogar. Good afternoon din sa inyong mga mahal naming mga estudyante, mga masugid na tagapagsubaybay sa ating ETUlay tutorial session. Magandang hapon sa ating mga guro, sa ating mga magulang dyan, at lalo-lalo na ating mga gwapo at magagandang mga estudyante. Ayun, so I hope you are doing great and we will start our ETUlay online tutorial. Ayan. Sige, so how are you? So simulan na natin sa pagtatanong. How are you grade 5 learners? Ayun, I hope you're doing fine, doing great, and you are in your safe zone, safe place, nasa bahay, masaya, yan, kasama ang iyong pamilya. By the way, I would like to greet all our loving fathers yesterday. Our, Father's Day kahapon. Ayun. So, I hope nakapag-bonding kayo ng iyong mga ama, hindi lang mga inyong ama, kundi pati na rin yung mga magulang, mga lolo, lola, tita, tito, at sa lahat-lahat pa. Okay, so thank you so much. Now let's proceed. So our objectives for this day is at the end of our tutorial, you will be able to identify the different constellations. I would like to remind you that this topic is a review, okay? Sa mga hindi nakapanood, manood kayo, at saka sa mga nanood last week, pwede din kayong mag-review pa. Yan. Number 2, define constellations and appreciate the value of being discerning by being able to discuss whether or not popular beliefs and with regard to constellations and astrology have scientific basis. Personally, I really love stars. Yun. Parang feeling ko talaga na if makita ko ng mga stars, I feel safe. Yung ganon. And when I was young, I really love to see patterns yung bahay namin dati may butas nung mga panahon yon. Nakikita ko yung before ako natutulog ay nakikita ko talaga yung constellations and I feel safe. Ayun. So, nare-recall ko lang nung ako'y nasa bata pa talaga, alam nyo na, ang dami kong imaginations when it comes to constellations. Ayun. So, hello sa inyong lahat. Next. So now, this time, I am inviting you to observe this picture. Yan, napakaganda ng larawan, no? Ngayon, we have the guide questions. Number 1, what are the twinkling objects which is seen at night? Ayun. So, are you familiar with the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Stars? Ayun. Yung twinkle, twinkle, little stars, how I wonder what you are. Yan. Napakanta ako bigla. Yan, sabi ni Krishaline, opo, kasi nakakabuo po tayo ng images at imagination. Ayun. So may sagot na si Krishaline, sabi niya, number 1, answer is star. Ayun. Okay. Pero actually, the stars are not totally twinkling talaga. Para lang siyang nagtitwinkle, okay? Para lang siyang nagtitwinkle dito sa Earth, pag nakikita natin from the Earth, para siyang kumukuti-kuti tap, kumbaga. It's because of the dust, okay, from the galaxy that's surpassing them. Kaya para siyang nagtitwinkle. But actually, literally, it's not twinkling actually. Ayun. Okay, tama kayong lahat, stars. Can you see images or patterns in it? So may nakikita ba kayong patterns or images from that image? Okay? Hello po sa inyong lahat. Hello Alicia, hello Kurt, hello Elijah. While waiting for your answers, hello Kurt, Graciel. Kayo ba lahat ay grade 5 students? Ayun. Yes, sabi ni Graciel, yes. Wow, very good. Oo, so may nakikita kayong patterns. Yan. So ano kayang mga images at patterns na ito? Ano kaya tawag nila? Now, question number 4. What do we call the large ice formation? Okay. Sorry, this is yan. Continue. Hindi pala yun, parang hindi lang na-edit. Now, let's proceed. And that's what we call constellations. Ayan. So, sino dito ang familiar ng constellations? Yan. Sino dito? Very familiar with the constellations. Ayun, yung kanina hindi po yun parang hindi lang po na-edit. Okay? Pero thank you pa rin sa pagsagot, Krishalyn, Gracial, and yes, maraming salamat. Now, let's proceed to the constellations. Ayun. Are you very familiar with constellations? I hope so. Okay. Now, let's define po what is constellations. But before that, I would like to read the answer of Krishalyn. Sabi ni Krishalyn, yung constellations po ay yung parang pinag-connect-connect na stars. Wow! Yan, sabi ni Kurt, ako po. Yes. When we look up into the sky on a clear night, we can see thousands of stars. Sometimes we might even use our imaginations to see pictures in the stars. These pictures have a scientific name and it's called constellations. The etymology of the word constellation comes from the Latin con, meaning together, and stella, meaning stars. It might be helpful to imagine a constellation as a connect the dot picture where stars are the dots. Ayun. So that is a constellation. Sabi na Alexia, yung parang pagko-connect-connect po ng mga stars sa langit. Okay, very good. So that is what we call the patterns. Okay? So may nakikita kayong parang aso, parang oso, parang tao, yung mga ganun. Those are constellations. These are the group of stars making different patterns up in the sky. Ayun. In the night sky, specifically. Ayun. So, napakasaya-saya talaga, no? Napakasaya-saya. Okay. Sabi ni Gracial, there are 88 official constellations. Wow! Maraming salamat, Gracial. At ikaw ay nakapag-research. Galing-galing. Now, let's proceed. So let's start with the images of constellations. So I would like to invite you to see the image of an Orion. Yan. Orion is the name of a hunter in Greek mythology. You can see by this picture that it takes some imagination to see the shape of a hunter when the lines are not drawn. Basically, normally, wala talaga yan siyang linya, ha? Okay, it's only the stars. Kayo na ang mag-i-imagine at kayo na mag-connect the dots. And that's what we call that image. And that formation is called Orion. Ayun. Diba? Si Orion is a warrior in the Greek mythology. Kaya may dala siyang kalasag at may dala siyang parang sword, di ba? Baka meron siyang kalaban. Yan. O may kalaban na paparating. Kaya he has to be on guard to defend himself and to defend his fellow men. Yun. Ganun. And then astronomers name constellation after things familiar to them and those around them. Many constellations are named after characters in Greek myths or stories. Kaya, yun ang ating Orion. So, ito'y napakapangalan lamang sa ating mga mythology, Greek mythology, Latin mythology, Greek, Roman mythology, at ano-ano pang mga storya. Ayan. Let's proceed. Okay, si Orion represent a giant hunter, yun nga, of Greek mythology. Isa pala siyang makisig, malaki, kasi giant in the sky. He is depicted raising his club and shield against a charging bull, which is Taurus, which forms the neighboring constellations. The bright star Betelgeuse marks Orion's right shoulder, and the Rigel marks his left foot. Okay, so you would like to ask, ano itong mga Betelgeuse and Rigel? These are the name of the stars. One feature that makes Orion easy to identify is a line of 3 stars that marks his belt. And that's what we call the Orion's belt. Yung parang 3 stars na magkakalinya. Yan ay Orion's belt. Okay. So, other may say it's Tres Marias. Yun. So, from the belt hangs his sword, which contains one of the brightest nebulae in the sky. And that's what we call the Orion Nebula. Sabi ni Krishaline as she shares, nasa creativity mo na po kung paano mo po mapag-connect-connect at magpabuo-buo ang image. Very good. Yun, 'di ba? We need to have more creative thinking or creative ka sa iyong pag-iisip para makabuo ka ng iyong sariling image. Oh, galing-galing naman. At as she added, marami po yung mga pangalan ng constellation ng stars na binase sa Greek mythology. Yan, magaling. Maraming salamat sa iyong pag-share. Okay. Another name of a constellation, you might have heard the name Hercules in cartoons, movies, or books. This name also comes from Greek mythology. A constellation was named after this Greek hero. Wow. So napaka-rich talaga ng imagination at natawag itong Hercules. At ito'y galing sa Greek mythology pa rin. Okay, next. Many constellation names come from other languages. For example, the Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. There are the Latin names for Big Bear and Little Bear. Or the other may say it's a Big Dipper and Little Dipper and are parts of these constellations. Okay, so ito si Big Bear, of course, ito yung what we call the Ursa Major. At ito namang si Little Bear, ito yung maliit na bear lamang at ito ay tinatawag na Ursa Minor. The Big Dipper and Little Dipper are the parts of these constellations too. Ayun. So, again, we will going to recall what are the constellations that I already mentioned. We have the Orion, we have also the Hercules, and we have the Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. Very good. Next, let's define each bear. Yan. Ursa Major is the third largest constellation in the sky. It was regarded by many ancient civilizations as a bear. In fact, its Latin name is for Great Bear. Ursa Major's 7 brightest stars form a shape of a saucepan shape. Oh, para nga siyang di ba? Para siyang tawag dito yung parang pan. Okay? Popular known as the Big Dipper or Plow, this is one of the best known features of the sky. Actually, may story between Ursa Major and Orion. Kasi habang ang storya nito is habang papalakad si Orion ay may nakita siyang bear. And that's what we call the Ursa Major. Yun. Oo, may mga ganong storya. Pag sila daw dalawa ang nakikita sa night sky. Yun, 'di ba? Napaka-creative talaga ng mga storya na 'yan. Next, Ursa Minor, okay, represents a small bear with a long tail. At the tip of the bear's tail lies the North Star, okay, called the Polaris. This Polaris, which is the brightest star in the constellation. Yes, and Ursa Minor is sometimes called Little Dipper. Okay, I would like to have a little sharing about the Polaris na this is the brightest star of all. Yeah, makikita mo talaga siya na this is the Polaris, the North Star. And this is located in the north. Okay? In the north direction. This is because its main stars form a shape that looks like a smaller version of the Big Dipper in the constellation or Ursa Major. Polaris, okay, the North Star and the brightest star, Ursa Minor, was used by sailors to navigate in the sea. Diba? So, napakalaking tulong yung North Star which is the brightest star. Kasi ito'y tumutulong para hindi mawala ang mga seamen or sea women o mga sailors, kumbaga, sa kanilang paglalakbay sa dagat. Kasi napakalaki ng dagat eh, napakalawak at walang mga direction at mga any signal. So only the Polaris and other equipment could help them to navigate the right direction in order for them not to be lost. Yan. So maraming salamat Polaris, the brighter star, for for the guide, kumbaga. Yan. Okay. Next, meron pa tayo. Okay. Si Canis Major or host Sirius. It is the brightest star in the entire sky and one of the Earth's closest neighboring stars. Okay. Ancient Egyptians used the rising of Sirius alongside the sun to predict the timing of the Nile's annual flooding. Ayun. So, ito siya. Si Canis Major is also a constellation and most especially in ancient Egyptians, ito yung ginagamit nila na para malaman nila kung may paparating na baha. Okay? So, yan ang kanilang basihan. Okay? Pag nakikita nila si Canis Major, host Sirius, Sirius is a star, okay, alongside of the sun. This is to predict the timing of the Nile's annual flooding. Kasi the Nile River is one of the longest rivers, okay, the longest rivers in Egypt. So therefore, pag ito'y bumaha, para malaman nilang babaha, yung annual flooding, kumbaga, tinitingnan nila yan sa langit. Kung ano ba. Tinitingnan nila sa sky, sa night sky. Nandyan ba yung Canis Major or so on, kung anong mga constellations ang meron. Okay, ito'y isang indicator. Yan. Nagiging indicator nila ang Canis Major na magkakaroon ba ng pagbaha o magkakaroon ng tagtuyo. Okay? Sige, sabi ni Inaj, Erica Galang, they use the stars as navigator. Yes po. Yan. Thank you so much for sharing. Yun. Meron tayong tinatawag na zodiac constellations and lahat kayo, of course, very familiar with these constellations or zodiac signs. These are constellations that lie along the plane of the ecliptic. The ecliptic or the apparent path of the sun is defined by the circular path of the sun across the sky, as seen from the Earth. In other words, the sun appears to pass through these constellations over the course of a year. Okay, so ano kaya mga zodiac constellations ang nandito? We have Gemini. Allow me to read. You can also read in your Jan, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus. Okay, these are all constellations or zodiac constellations. Yan. Okay, so you may ask kung ano ang zodiac constellation ko. You may guess. It, di ba, it is based on your birthday. So my birthday is September 1. And my zodiac sign is, do you have any idea? You can comment on the chat box. Okay, hindi ko muna sasabihin kung ano ang constellation zodiac sign ko. Jane, mali po. Hindi po ako Libra. Again, my birthday is September 1. Okay. So the constellations of the zodiac sign are used as basis for the astrological signs. Okay. Sabi ni Krishaline, Libra po ba? Hindi. Okay. Ellie Erin, Virgo po. Alicia, Virgo. Jane answered Leo. Okay. Actually, my zodiac sign is Virgo. Yeah. Thank you so much for answering. Okay, your zodiac sign or star sign reflects the position of the sun when you were born. Okay, so astrology claims that it can forecast of a person's future and describes a person's character and circumstances. That's why pag if you're finding a partner, you have to know the what we call this, the astrological sign. So if your partner is ganito, dapat ganito ka rin or ganito. So magkakasundo kayo, something like that. Pero for me, hindi ako masyadong naniniwala sa ganyan because it depends on the person kung mabait ka or ano ka ba, may galit ka ba sa mundo or whatsoever. Yun, depende po yan. Depende po din yan sa kung ang tinatawag nating pagtsatsaga at sipag nyo. Parang sipag at tsaga. Ayan. Yun. So, as I continue, numerous scientific studies have disproven that astronomical bodies affect people's lives according to their birth date. Yes, totoo po yan. Okay. So, ako din, hindi din ako naniniwala sa mga ganyan. Pero, nirerespeto ko din po ang mga opinion ng mga iba na naniniwala, of course. And they have also to respect me. Okay, so ganon. So, ano lang. Sige, let's continue. Uses of constellations. So, nandito na tayo sa uses of constellations. Number 1, ito ang isa sa pinaka-importante na use ng constellations. Constellations are useful in tracking artificial satellites and in assisting astronomers and navigators to locate certain stars. Ayun. And in ancient times, constellations were used to create and track the calendar so they knew when to plant crops and harvest them. Kasi wala pang nakadiscover ng tinatawag na kalendaryo. Kaya ang ginagamit ng sinaunang panahon, sinauna pa talagang panahon ay yung pagtitingala sa tuwing gabi at tinitingnan kung maraming stars, konti lang ang stars, something like that. Meron ding pagkakataon, ma-share ko lang. Sinasabi ng ating mga magulang or ng ating mga, mga older na din natin na mga magulang or tita, lolo, sinasabi ay walang buwan at mga bituin ngayon, so uulan. Yun. So at first, I am very curious then. Bakit naman niya nasabi na uulan? Na kung walang bituin, walang buwan, as in wala talaga, ay uulan. Later on, umulan nga. Yung ganon. So, parang sa mga sinaunang panahon, nalalaman nilang uulan o hindi. It's because of the presence of the constellations. Yun. And there are some constellations, there are some constellations na sa ganitong buwan, magpapakita ang ganitong constellation. Sa ganitong buwan, magpapakita ito namang other constellations. So, this would really serve as a guide before ancient times. Yun. And number 3, constellations are also used for navigation and to help sailors travel across oceans. Yun. So, it's very true, no? It's very true. Inulit ko lang kanina na this constellation really helps a lot. Okay? Kung kung meron kayong kapamilya or kamag-anak o di kaya ay yung ama ninyo ay isang seaman, pwede nyo siyang tanungin kung gaano kahalaga ang constellations for them habang sila'y naglalakbay sa karagatan. Okay, sabi ni Krishaline, opo, natatrack, kaya po nahanap ang 3 hari si Jesus kasi sinundan po nila yung mga bituin. Wow, very good, Krishaline Laksina, for your sharing. Thank you so much. Ayun, so yan sa in the Catholic beliefs, ang tatlong hari ay hinahanap ang batang sanggol. In the Catholic beliefs and Christian faith, at nahanap nila ito dahil sa bituin. Okay, maraming salamat sa iyong sharing, Krishaline Tilaksina. Ayan, napaka-active naman ng mga grade 5 students. Thank you. Okay, now let's have the visibility of constellations. Okay, the visibility of a constellation depends on your location on Earth and the time of the year you are in. Good. The celestial sky is usually divided into two different hemispheres. Ayun, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. As the Earth rotates, different parts of the sky are visible at different times and different locations. For example, the constellation Draco can only be seen in the northern hemisphere. Oo. So therefore, hindi talaga depende po yan sa location ninyo. Here on the Philippines, okay, so nasa Pilipinas tayo, ito yung nakikita natin sa ating sky. But in the other hemisphere, in the southern hemisphere, iba din ang kanilang nakikita. Okay? Kasi the Earth rotates in our axis, in the Earth's axis, and revolves around the sun. So therefore, magkaiba-iba talaga ang ating nakikitang constellations depending on our location. Okay? So yun. Now, how many constellations are there? So, wow. So it has been mentioned by our dear learner, Krishaline. Sabi niya, it is divided into 88 different constellations in 1922. So super tagal na. Diba? And this included 48 ancient constellations listed by the Greek astronomer Ptolemy, as well as 40 new constellations. Yun. So, marami pa talagang dapat i-discover. Kaya kayo, as grade 5 learners, or kahit anong grade kayo ngayon, you have to seek for knowledge. If you really love to learn about stars, then research all about stars. Read a lot of books in order for you to be knowledgeable about stars and constellations. Ganun yon. If you want to learn more, then dig more about the information. Ayun. 'Di ba? Malay natin. Magiging scientist ka, magiging astronomer ka, at ikaw ang magpapangalan ng iyong sariling star. Okay, so ilagay mo ba yung pangalan ko? Star Rogar. Ayun. Di ba? Ang ganda-ganda. Star Tutor Rogar. Yan. Yung star na yan ay si Star Tutor Rogar. Something like that. Yun. And then you're going to name that one. And then marami pang dapat i-prove din as you go along with the process. Ayun. Meron nga, 'di ba, may nabasa ako na estudyante nanalo sila ng science investigatory project sa Arizona, I think. Yeah, sa Intel ICEF, at pinangalan sa kanila, may pinangalan sa kanila ang stars, okay? Ang tatlong stars. O, di ba? So may pangalan ka na, may pangalan na star at kapangalan mo. Tsaka meron niyang parang registration, so on and so forth. Meron din isa yung nabalitaan din na kwento ko lang ha, yung parang kanyang boyfriend, as in literal talaga na ibinigay yung star sa kanya. Like pinangalan niya sa kanyang nobya ang star. Binili niya yung star, yung pangalan sa NASA, at ibinigay yung pangalan ng star sa girlfriend niya. Diba? Kapangalan na ng girlfriend niya. Ayun siya. Diba? So, ang saya-saya. Okay. Now, okay. So, yun lang. Maraming salamat at magkakaroon na tayo ng pagsusulit. Again, this is just a review. Ayun. So, kumuha na ng any papers could do. Okay, to share your your knowledge about our topic, which is constellation. Again, this is just a review. Alam nyo na to. Okay, sabi ni Kershaline, parang yung sa Walk to Remember po. Yes, that is one of classic movies na nakita ko noon. A Walk to Remember is, I was high school ata ako noon, Kershaline. Nakapanood ka na pala na niya. Okay, thank you so much. Yan, so let's have exercise number 1. Okay, so number 1, which of the following is a constellation? Ayun, A, Betelgeuse, B, Sirius, C, Polaris, or D, Orion? Saan dyan ang tamang sagot? Okay, Jane, Erica, Galang, answer D, Kershaline D, Alicia D, yan, Alexia D. Okay, very good. So the correct answer is letter D. Yay! Next, number 2. Which of the following is a zodiac sign? A zodiac constellation rather. A, Canis Major. B, Gemini. C, Orion. D, Rygen. The correct answer for number 2, it's letter B. Very good. Ang galing-galing. Gemini. Next, which constellation can be seen from the North Pole? A, Canis Major. B, Draco. C, Little Dipper. D, Capricorn. So what's your answer for number 3? Okay, very good. Ang galing. It's Draco. Congratulations. Okay, number 4. What would astronomers say? A comet is a sign of bad things to come. B, your horoscope says that you will have good luck tomorrow. Or C, there will be an eclipse of the moon on June 23. Or letter D, it is not a good time now to invest money. Okay. What would astronomer usually say? Yun. Okay, the correct answer for number 4, very good. Okay, Erica, good. Krishaline, okay, Sophia, Rachel, Ellie, yan, galing-galing naman. Number 5, Virgo, Taurus, Orion are a few of the commonly known constellations. But how many constellations are there altogether? A, 99, B, 88, C, 77, D, 12. Okay, very good. Very good. Clap your hands. It's letter B, correct. How are constellations originally named and identified? A, as people or animals they may have resembled. B, mathematically with numbers and coordinates. C, in groups of very distant, bright, or old stars. Or letter D, by their location from Earth's horizon. Okay, correct. It's number 6. It's letter A. Ang galing nyo naman. Okay, so there you have it. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much for your cooperation. For comments and suggestion, kindly send us email at edtech@deped.gov.ph. Maraming salamat sa inyong pakikinig at mabuhay po tayong lahat. See ya po! Salamat po sa inyong kooperasyon. God bless us always. Bye!
Sigurado ako na marami ka na namang natutuhan sa ating ETUlay tutorial session ngayong araw. Tandaan, ito ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga mag-aaral, kundi pati rin sa ating mga minamahal na guro at mga magulang na kaagapay natin para maituloy ang pagkatuto sa kabila ng nararanasang pandemya. Patuloy ding sumubaybay sa DepEd TV para sa mga araling ginawang video episodes. Mapapanood ito mula Lunes hanggang Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 7 ng gabi sa inyong mga telebisyon. Abangan bukas mula alauna ng tanghali ang iba pang aralin sa ating ETUlay free online tutorial session sa English. I-like and subscribe at manatiling nakasubaybay sa ating ETUlay tutorial session sa DepEd Edtech Unit FB page at Educational Technology Unit channel sa YouTube at sa DepEd Tayo at DepEd Philippines social media accounts. Paalam!